plus 14. They have a 100% record so far in the competition, and you want to say this will be a tough nut to crack for the Flying Eagles. Okay, welcome to the Neighborhood Television, and I am being joined with a seasoned sports journalist, a writer for LMC. He is a broadcaster, he's a presenter with Garrison Radio FM. Fisayo Dairo is my guest this morning. Fisayo, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Saladino. Good morning to viewers. Of course, I'm pleased to be here this morning on this special occasion. Just like you said it all, it's the European champions taking on the African champions as well. We must not forget that. And so it's always going to be a very interesting game. These two teams, whenever they come up against each other, it's always very, very decisive, very difficult, very competitive, I must say. Yeah, and it did back to, especially in this competition at 20 level in 1999. We beat them 2-0 there in Lagos, Nigeria. And just like you said, in 2009, they beat us 3-2.
Yeah.
At this stage of the competition. So that makes it very, very serious, and one thing we must really look out for. Well, the fact is that I think they are slight favorites going into this one because they have won all their games. Like you rightly pointed out, they beat Fiji 8-1. They beat Honduras 3-0, and of course they beat they beat Uzbekistan 3-0 and beat Honduras
5-1. They scored a whopping 16 goals and so far, and considered just 2. What does that tell you about the German defense?
It tells you that they are a very good side. They're a very good attacking team, and they have lots of outlets. Players are experienced playing in the German Bundesliga. You know, they have people like Max Tendera plays for Eintracht Frankfurt. They've got Julian Brandt who scored against Bayern Munich.
Against Bayern Munich.
Going to score against Bayern, you know, it's not always an easy thing. And this is a teenager that has done that, and they've brought all the goals in this competition. All these players have scored in this tournament. Anne Mokhtar plays for Benfica. He has scored 4 goals in this competition as well. So they are a very good attacking side. And but although I think they have not really been tested by their opponents, but the fact that Uzbekistan defeated Austria this morning, and this was the same as Uzbekistan, they defeated 3-0, gives us something to think about. That probably the Uzbeks were not as poor as we thought. So they are a very good side. That's just what we can continue to repeat, and I hope the Nigerian lads are fully aware of this.
Okay, the Nigerians in the first game against Brazil, they actually conceded 4 goals against a typical attacking Brazilian side, and we're up against a German side that is known for its flair going up front. Like you rightly mentioned, a couple of lads that play already in the German Bundesliga will be in action today against this Flying Eagles side, and we know that they have this problem, this little bit of problem with the defense. What do you think Coach Manu Garba should do tonight, this morning rather, to beef up that defense if we are to stop the Germans from penetrating?
Well, I think our major undoing against the Brazilians was not having enough assistance for the defense. In the game, in football, your back 4 alone will not do the job. You need a concerted effort from everyone, even the attackers, the midfielders. But against Brazil, these guys, the holding midfielders especially, they didn't really win one of the tackles. They didn't do much of interception. So I think the defensive pair of Wilfred Ndidi and Zaradin Bello were overpowered by the useful and skillful South Americans, which I think should not happen today. A whole lot has to do with the midfield. Like many of these guys that we mentioned, like of Stendera, Julian Wade, just joined Borussia Dortmund from Eintracht Frankfurt, and of course like Julian Bird as well. They are very good at play from the middle. So if you are going to stop them, you stop them from the middle. You don't allow your defenders to do the job alone. Now we have good defenders in terms of in the mode of Wilfred Ndidi and Zaradin Bello. Our fullbacks, we know what they can do. Musa Mohammed and Mustafa Abdullahi, but they need ample assistance from those in the midfield, and I hope that they really come out to do that, do the job for their defenders, because if you leave it to them, I'm sure I tell you they will overpower us.
Okay, one major talking point for many Nigerians is the fact that Golden Boy Kelechi Iheanacho doesn't get a start today against the Germans. He doesn't get a start. He only started the game against Brazil, and ever since he's been relegated to the bench. He came on as a sub towards the end of the game in the last group match for Kingsley Sokari, and today he doesn't get to start against the Germans. Kelechi Iheanacho, will his absence be felt? Don't you think we need him? Because he's been in Europe, he's been with Manchester City, even though you want to say with the youth side, he's been playing European football, and we're up against European opposition.
Well, we will need him certainly, but will we miss him? That's what I can't be sure of at the moment. Because as a coach, as a manager of a team, you have to take a look at the chemistry that has worked for your team. Although I'm not totally for the argument that you don't change a winning team, but then you don't also compromise team stability and solidity. And I think this is one thing these guys have done over the past 2 matches. Now against Hungary, we played a team that gives us a little bit of forehand knowledge about what to expect in a European opposition. The Hungarians are from Europe. They also played in the same European Championship as the Germans. So for Iheanacho, he is a top talent, no doubt about that. But having seen me, I would like to play a holding midfield duo. That's where I have a problem with Iheanacho fitting. So that's why the coach going for the duo of Akinjide Idowu, and if I makes a little bit of sense to me, and we hope that they are able to nullify whatever threat these Germans will bring onto the table today, because we know that going forward we will harm them. That is, no matter how good their defenders are, we can fully trust the 3 attackers. We have Taiwo Awoniyi and Godwin Saviour. They've both had 2 goals each in this competition. They've also had assists in this competition, and not forgotten Bemana Bobo. Many Nigerians will not forget the goal he scored against Senegal in the final of the EYC.
Okay.
So I think Iheanacho, the fact that he was not started in the past 2 games makes it more difficult to want to start him in a game of this magnitude, because you know, it started against Brazil, we lost. Many people fingered him, although I didn't believe he had any blame in that one, because he wasn't the one to really defend. So now the question is, should I again go back to starting Iheanacho against another solid opposition like the Brazilians? What if we lose? Then
the blame will fall back to the coach.
And since the majority of Nigerians are of the opinion that you don't alter a winning team, and not give it to them.
Okay, many Nigerians of the opinion that you don't get to alter a winning team. Kelechi Iheanacho doesn't get to start today, but up front we have Taiwo Awoniyi, Bernard Boboa. You also have Godwin Saviour, a man who scored 2 goals so far in this competition. Taiwo Awoniyi also scored 2 goals against the Hungarians in the very last group match of this competition, which secured passage for the Flying Eagles into the knockout stages, and they will be spearheading the Flying Eagles attack against the Germans early moment from now. That game comes up by 8:30, and you can get to watch all of the action, all of the excitement here on the Neighbourhood television. And also, let's take a look at some other African teams. So far we've had an all-African round of 16 clash between Ghana and Senegal. Any surprises for you? The Ghanaians topped their group and they came into the last 16. So many persons predicted that they were going to have the better of Mali, who only qualified as one of the best losers from their group, but they were beaten fair and square 3-0.
Of course, I was a little bit surprised, not only because the Ghanaians topped a group that had serial winners, record holders, Argentina, beating the Argentines 3-2 en route to top in that group. The group also has another formidable Austrian, that's formidable European as Austria, and of course Panama. They did very well in the group stage, but that goes to tell you that when 2 teams from the same continent meet at the global fiesta, you never can tell how it's
a different ball game.
It's always a different ball game entirely. And just like Nigeria and Germany, the 2 teams, Ghana and Mali, they also had a little bit of history shared in between them. So even dating back to the recent AYC, they were in the same group in Senegal, and of course Mali defeated Ghana in that group stage game, and Ghana had to finish second, playing us, but we beat them in the semi-final. They now met in the 3rd place, and in that 3rd place, we had Ghana and Mali playing again, and Ghana beat them 2-1. Bucky was on target in that particular game. But yesterday, it was a different ball game entirely. The Malian side has obviously evolved. While they were in the top group in this competition, they were gradually coming up. They were facing difficult opposition, and they finished one of the 3rd place teams. So the Ghanaians, I think they were flattered by their performance in the group stage, having beat a team like Argentina, having drawn against the Austrians, and beating Panama the first world. They've arrived. And the Malians, they were gradually working their way up top. And what I saw yesterday, I was very, very impressed by the young Eagles of Mali. Sleek passing football, free flowing. They dredged the Ghanaians. Their goals, they were the kind of tiki-taka goals you enjoy in Europe. One touch, 1-2.
The Barcelona kind of football.
The Barcelona type of football. And fantastic goals, fully deserved the victory for them. And that's a lesson to the Ghanaians. They had Selassie Tete in charge of them, the man that won the WIC for them in 2009.
So okay.
They thought it was another ruler.
He has the magic touch.
He had the mojo until they come up against the Malians. And remember, the Malians, they know how to serve you with surprises. Back in 1999, I referred to earlier on, we met them in the quarterfinals. We were on a high. we are going to beat them. We played them in Enugu against in the Adinam Daziko Stadium. But they turned off 3-1.
Yeah, just in case you don't remember, they had the likes of Sedu Keita in that team, and they beat the Flying Eagles. Then I remember the likes of Joseph Yobo, Julius Agawa, Pius Ikedia, Nigeria 99, that competition. It was a sad night for Nigerian football. They were eliminated 3-1 by the Young Eagles of Mali. And guess what? If the Flying Eagles escapes tonight against the German opposition, the next opposition in the quarterfinals will be the Young Eagles of Mali. Before we get to that stage, let's take a look at the Senegalese team. Yesterday, they had to wait until penalties. They took the game all the way to penalties, and the goalkeeper saved 3 open penalties, and Senegal converted 3, and they are through to the quarterfinals.
I'm very happy for them. I was very happy, and I am still very happy for the Senegalese, because I don't think they totally deserve the victory. But football is all about maintaining your shape and organization, and when you get a chance, you make use of it. I think that was what happened yesterday. The Ukrainians, they also finished second in their group, and they were a very formidable side, a typical European side. They are very combative and very energetic. They went into the lead courtesy of Biedin's strike in the second half. But when we thought it would end 1-0, 7 minutes left to play, and the Senegalese equalized courtesy of Sidi Sarr. Very fantastic goal, roof to ball, arrow the ball into the roof of the net, and they were able to hold on. They were not the better team on the day, but they were disciplined.
But they got the result that mattered.
They got the result, and when it got to penalties, they really I saw that they truly rehashed the penalties. The way they took the penalties, it was Sarr that took the first one.
It seemed they were very confident going into the penalties, because once it got to the penalties, you could see the goalkeeper and some of his teammates with a trademark celebration, like they knew they were going to win the penalties. And when it got to penalties proper, Sidi Sarr, Sila and Niang all converted for the Senegalese. Hablek was the only person that got it on target for Ukraine, and it ended 3-1 in favor of Senegal. We are getting live pictures from New Zealand, and any moment from now we should be joining live to bring you the game between the Flying Eagles and Germany. I won't be linking up live if I don't get the prediction of Fisai Diary. He's known as the Octopus here. For those of you that don't know, he's known as the Octopus. He does this thing every week, and every weekend when he gets to predict some of the Nigerian professional league matches. And guess what? He's been spot on so many occasions. Yeah, Fisai Daro, he's been spot on. So I will get his prediction: Nigeria, Germany.
Well, as a patriotic Nigerian, not only that, I've also...
I don't want you to be a patriotic Nigerian. I want you to be a sports analyst.
You know where I stand? I always believe that we'll beat the Germans, because we have a very formidable side. I think I'm scared of them going forward, so maybe we can concede a goal, but I expect us to win by as much as 3-1, because the proposition we're going to show them in front, they may not be able to handle the firepower of the likes of Bobra, Awoni and Xavier. So I expect us to score up to 3 goals and probably concede 3-1 to Nigeria. Okay,
he expects the Flying Eagles to score 3 goals and get to concede 3-1 in favor of Nigeria. Fisayo, maybe you can start celebrating if Fisayo says the Flying Eagles would win 3-1. Maybe you should just start wherever you are popping champagne. It's quite early here in Nigeria. It's about 8:30, and about time for us to link up live with the Christchurch Stadium in New Zealand, and we will be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll be taking you live to New Zealand to bring you the game between Nigeria and Germany.
This is the story of a brother who slept and woke up in Foreverland. He looked around, nothing's familiar. He wondered how it got to be there. He took a walk around the city and saw this brick house with a small door. Walked into the room and saw a man in white. Must be an angel, so he said. Mr. Angel, I'm a stranger, don't know what's going on. The last thing I remember was I slept last night. This is a border town that takes you where you get a crown. Must have heard of heaven where you came from. Only those whose name I find written in this book of life will forever be in paradise. Is your name in this book of life? Is your name in this book of life here? Is your name in this book of life? Is your name in this book of life here? Flipping the pages of this great book, this brother gave a cursory gaze. He saw the names of prophets, saints and martyrs who kept the faith and won the race. But he said, Mr. Angel, where is my name? Can you tell me what is going wrong? I'm a pillar in my local church, give the offerings and the tithes, feed the poor and have myself a good name. Is my name in this book of life? Is my name in this book of life here? Tell me, is my name in this book of life? Is my name in this book of life here? Unforgiveness lurks within your heart, some folks that you will never let go. Little folksies and secret faults will bring surprises on that final day. Oh, so much for this wonder, brother. What about you? What about me? Let him the things that he stands. Let him take it lest he fall. Only the pure in heart will see Jesus. Those whose garments glow with purity. Is your name in that book of life? Is your name in that book of life there? Is your name in that book of life? Tell me, is your name in that book of life there? Think about it. in trouble.